Hello my crochet friends. Are you guys ready to keep organizing the yarn stash? So you know that I'm doing a series of videos. I have no idea what day it is. It could be day 10, day 12. I don't know. I do know that I started in early to mid-February, somewhere around the 10th, and today is April 14th. So February, March, and into April, okay? Now, most of the yarn in my living room is now upstairs and organized on a shelving system, right? I do have some yarn left in the living room. That's Arlo. He uses my desk to get to the window all day long. So I'm going to show you what yarn is left in the living room, okay? Don't mind the mess that it's sitting on because it's one thing at a time, right? This, because I recently bought it at the thrift store, and these, okay? I recently bought this for a project. My Lion Brand ice cream blankets. And some patchwork squares. On my desk, Christmas tree skirt, and a #1 super fine yarn that I'm practicing with a super small hook. So the yarn I bought at the thrift store, I'm going to take that upstairs and stick it on the shelf. Alright? The patchwork squares, I'll take them upstairs and stick them. I got them in a crocheted basket. I will stick them in that. The Lion Brand ice cream yarn blankets, they're one of them I still need to weave in the tail ends, and the other one is completely done. My husband's going to write up a description so I can list it. So beyond that, because that'll take me 5 minutes, we are going to, it's my little corner of shame, okay? My computer desk is actually an old kitchen table, right? But I bought a new official desk that has drawers so I can tuck things away and not everything's out in the open, right? So I got to be cleaning up my space. But next to my desk, there's another table. It's like kind of like a side table, but taller. And it's got a little shelf on there where I've got the power strip that all my computer parts are plugged into. And it's got a little shelf underneath of that where there's a bunch of vintage crochet patterns. I got vintage, old school black and white crochet patterns from, I don't know, the 40s or 50s maybe. And then my printer, the router, is all sitting there. But underneath of that is crochet patterns. And I need to get down there and I need to get them all out because I have a new shelf to put in there to go with my office stuff. I'm always moving one thing out of the way so I can do another thing. There's also crochet magazines down there. Crochet World, I want to say. And I got a stack of pattern books. And then more stuff. And now I'm going to try and show you, but it's dark down here. And the first thing I want to do is get my vacuum, get the hose to the vacuum, and vacuum up all the dust and the dirt and the cat fur that just, you know, it all gets mixed together. Looks like tumbleweeds down there. I don't want it to bother my allergies, so I'm going to vacuum first before I pick up anything. I'm going to try and show you what it looks like. See, this is the table that holds my printer, my router, and a lamp, right? Down here, there are crochet magazines here. Crochet alongs that I participated in where I printed out the pattern is in the binder. There's a pile of crochet magazines there and books. But right back there are the vintage patterns. So I need to clean this corner out because I'm going to be redoing my whole office space or my computer space. And I bought a shelf to go in there for the printer, for the router. And so I need to move all my patterns. And the purpose of doing, you know, it's like my crochet hobby. It has invaded every corner of my house, in between the yarn, the half-made projects, the completed projects, the patterns, the paperwork, the notes, the yarn labels, it's just all around my house. So I've been trying to get it all together in one spot. So that's what I'm doing. Those magazines and those books have been sitting down there for a good, I want to say 2 or 3 years without being touched. So I'm not going to show you the vacuuming. It's a very tight corner. I can't get in there to show you that. You don't want to see the dust and the cat fur flying around. So just trust me when I say that it's dusty and it's dirty, and I'm going to go vacuum it first. And then I'm going to start pulling it all out. And then I'm going to carry it upstairs. Okay? I will get back to you guys in a little bit. Okay, friends, I got the vacuum out. I got the first thing off the floor, and it's the binder, right? I go to pick it up, and all the papers fell out because it turns out they're not hole punched. So they're not actually in the binder. And it is the pattern for the Nature's Walk cow, which is one of the prettiest blankets I have ever made. And I love it. But it turns out I never hole punched it, so it's not actually in the binder. It's just sitting in the binder. Alright, so that one can go upstairs. So I'm going to pull out a magazine rack that actually has magazines in it. Okay, and I know you probably can't see it, but I'm going to run the vacuum over it real quick. There we go. Let's see, what kind of magazines do I have in here real quick? Crochet Edits. Simply Crochet. I think this is a British magazine. Give me a date. I'll put dates on there. I don't know, but I got a whole bunch of Simply Crochet. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then let's see, I got this one that's called Crochet. It'd be fun to flip through all these, wouldn't it? Oh yeah, all the way to the back. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, and some random ones. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 crochet magazines in there, my friends, that we are going to go through. And if we're not going to make anything out of there, then it's time to get rid of it. Because who in the world has time to make everything? This one has got a lot of cat fur on it, so I'm going to vacuum that off real quick. I got Leisure Arts. This is Birthstone Afghans. Oh my goodness, I have had this forever. It was printed in 1996, and there's a blanket in here from January through December with made in the color of the birthstone for that month. So like January's a garnet, so the blanket would be a reddish color. My birthday's in November, so it should be a golden yellow topaz kind of color. Let's see. Ah, yep. I love this. I just love to sit and flip through these and just look at how pretty the designs are. I've got crochet books in there. I've got an amigurumi book in here. I've had that for a long time. Wow, here's another favorite. Oh, I haven't seen this one in years. Glorious Granny Squares Perfect Take and Go Projects from Crochet World. Whole magazine dedicated to Granny Squares. A book of boho crochet. Right, that's awesome. Let's see. What else we got in there? One more. We got one called 'Tis the Season to Crochet. And it's got little penguins on the front. So it must be all holiday themed. Now this is where my pattern collecting started. This one right here. This one's from my grandma. Rainbow Baby Boutique by Anne. There's a little mobile that hangs over the crib. There's a teddy bear, sweater sets, bibs, and hats. And on the back there's little booties, little teddy bears, and 2 different blankets. And I have made this blanket numerous times, but not in baby colors. And I actually have the hexagons for this one upstairs. My grandma gave this one to me. So it's got her handwritten notes in there. And the pages are all ripped and falling apart, but there's my grandma's handwriting with notes. This is one of my favorites. It's just, I love this. There's little check marks where she was making something and she checked off the rows that she was working on. Okay. Let's put that one away for the moment. Alright, so the stuff that I just pulled out, the pink binder and these 2 magazine holders, I'm going to take these on upstairs and then I will work on the rest of the stuff down there. Okay, my next stack is Crochet World from 2008 to 2012. Yeah, see that stack right there? A lot of beautiful blankets in there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 11 of them. And I know some of you are going to say, wow, that's a lot of magazines. I tell you what, no matter what I've got, my mom's got twice as much. A little bit of a pack rat thing going on. But yeah, there's my next stack. There's one in this pile. It's not actually crochet related. It's one of my favorite shows of all time, Supernatural. Look at that. Sam and Dean Winchester. It's just their magazines, so they wound up in the magazine pile, which are all crochet magazines. Okay. Now, let's see what else I can reach. Arlo again. Come on, Arlo, I gotta vacuum this. It's so dusty. This is the pile underneath of the pile, so I couldn't actually get the vacuum to it. book in here. Do you guys know, Deirdre, look at what I made for Sophie's Universe crochet along? Now, I did make a Sophie's Universe, but I didn't do it till years after the original crochet along. And I bought her book to help me go along with it. I think she just released the book for Charlotte's Universe. So I'm thinking about picking that one up too. But if you guys want a crochet book, it's got a lot of beautiful pictures. And very detailed instructions. And then pictures of people like us who made the blanket are actually in this book too. One of my favorite things. Ooh, how about this? Crochet Fun, October and November of 1988. That'll be fun to go through that one. And then, you know, more modern day stuff from Loops and Threads, Impeccable. It's called Ho Ho Holidays. So, that's newer. Let's see. Oh, a year of baby Afghans from Leisure Arts. That's gorgeous on the front. Oh, a little pamphlet that says First Steps in Crochet. I wonder what kind of publication date that's got. Look at this creepy little cat on the back. Oh, that's horrible. I mean, it's fun, but creepy. 1983. So, you know, some of this stuff was my mom's, some of it was my grandmom's. It's kicking up so much dust. How about some Care Bears? Watermelon slice. I think it's supposed to look a little bit like strawberry shortcake. Nativity scene for Christmas. And of course, Grannies galore. Check this out. That's the granny squares we all grew up with, right? There's one on the back. The wearable Afghan. So it's kind of like a robe, kind of like a sweater. Wow, where did this come from? And how old is this one? 1984. Okay, so let me get this upstairs. And again, I'll be right back. Okay, so we're ready to see the next pile. See, I'll kick it up so much dust. So forgive me with my sniffling. This is going to be a random pile. It's so funny. Mile a minute. My grandma loved making mile a minute, and I got to tell you, out of all the crochet patterns out there, I've never done mile a minute. So, at some point, I will pick one out of here and make one, just as a nod to my grandma. Okay, let's see, we got crocheted paw holders. We've got baby Afghans to knit and crochet. And most of these are Leisure Arts. They're the ones that put out all these leaflets and pamphlets way back in the day. Oh, Carefree Creatures to crochet using egg-shaped hosiery containers. Do you remember when you would get your pantyhose in an egg-shaped container? Well, those containers, women used them and crocheted animals around them. I remember my mom making this octopus type thing and the bunny. I think my mom still makes the bunny to this day. And I think she uses polyfilm now. Let's see, Ripple Afghans. I think this is another one of my grandma's. My grandma was real good with the baby stuff. Yeah, I can see her handwriting on the back. How to teach your kids or a group of kids to crochet. With those I could probably let go of. I have nobody to teach. Hooked on Crochet number 9, May, June 1988. Fun stuff in there, right? Bunch of random papers. Cute crochet for kids. It looks like sweaters, pullovers, cardigans, jackets, jumpers. Weekend crochet projects. This one looks like it's a little old. Look at that man on the back with his sweater and his mustache. I have no idea what that. I don't think that one's crochet. I think that one's just crafts. The new crochet 40 wonderful wearables. So yeah, some of these, while they're in my pile, is stuff that I would probably never use. Ooh. Double quick baby blankets. I think it's 2 strands of yarn held together to make baby blankets. And I'm going to show you one of my favorites. I'm going to save that one for last. These are random loose patterns that probably came out of magazines where I didn't keep the whole magazine, just the pattern. But we'll go through all that someday. Oh, do you guys remember these bed dolls? I actually have 2. One is a Christmas angel and one is a Halloween witch. And I didn't make them. A friend of a friend made them and I bought them from her. But do you remember those? Let's see. What else do I have? Weekend ponchos. Gorgeous, right? Got another one for the bed dolls. This one's name is Rachel. The other's one, her name was Libby. And crochet basics. Some patterns in there, right? This is one of the patterns that I've been making since 1992. And it's from the Craft Yarn Council of America. It's called the Rainbow Waves Afghan. I have made so many versions of this blanket over the years, and they've all been given away. But I would like to take this and make it a little bit more modern because they made it long-wise this way. But I would make it short and go tall with it. And I might change up the color choices. Okay, so it's a nice big stack to go upstairs. And I'm only going to show you just a handful of these real quick. It's from The Work Basket, which was a magazine that was put out decades ago. It would have crocheting, it would have knitting, I think it would have embroidery, it would have a handful of crafts in it. It says right on the front, home and needlecraft for pleasure and profit. So these two, they're 1, 2, 3. There's 4 of them in this bag, right? And the date here says February 1957. I have a whole stack of these vintage work baskets. I would love to go through these someday and flip through them and see what kind of crochet patterns they got in there. This one, it's 1986. Because I have a work basket from 1989. It's got my Christmas tree skirt pattern in there because it's not mine. It came from the work basket from 1989. I've been making that, you know. So I would love to go through these and maybe pick the oldest publication book that I have and find the oldest pattern and work it and see if it holds up to today's terminology and today's techniques. That would be fun. Alright, so I'm going to take this big pile upstairs. I'm going to bring you up with me. And I'm showing you where I'm putting everything for the moment. It's a temporary home, but at least it's all together. And it's getting it out of my living room. Because that's the whole goal. Get all of my crochet stuff together. All the yarn in one spot. All the hooks and tools in one spot. All the patterns in one spot. All of my notes in one spot. And all of my projects that I still need to finish. All in one spot. Yeah? Alright, so let's go take these upstairs. Okay, friends, so this is the room that we've been working in, right? Where all the yarn is. And now I'm full. I cannot go shopping for any more yarn. I only left myself a little bit of a walkway in there. And then this pile here is project pile from 2023. Project pile from 2022. And this bin is all my notes that I've been trying to get together. My patchwork squares and granny squares, corner to corner squares. So I have 2 stacks of pattern books right here on the floor. So I sat the 2 magazine holders and the binder there. That's my pile of vintage work basket. And these are the Crochet World and leaflets. So I'm going to take this pile, break it up a little bit, and sit it right there. There. Now I do have, hold on one second. Hi guys. I do have more crochet patterns downstairs, but it's my most recent ones in the last couple years. They're the ones sitting on the floor behind my desk. And Arlo and Bandit, being cats and being that they love paper, has now spread my notes across the floor, so I need to gather them all up. I'm not going to sit and do that right now. So, I'm sorry. Is it your turn to say hello? Say hello. Oh, good boy. Always has to make an appearance in a video, doesn't he? What was I saying? Oh, I'm not picking up the patterns off the floor today. No, I've done enough for today. See, I'm already pink in the face. So, because it's just one step at a time, one thing at a time, and not so much that I'm overwhelming myself that I can't make any decisions on what to do. Now, these series of videos, they're not purge videos. I'm not purging anything. I'm not decluttering anything. Unless something is obvious trash. It's just me trying to organize everything and get everything all together in one spot. Because I've never had a spot in my house for my crocheting hobby. It's always been wherever there was a corner, you could shove something, and that was it. So this is me trying really hard and trying to follow through and get everything in one spot so I can see what I have. So partly so I'll stop shopping. If I see some yarn in the store, I'll be like, I don't need that because I have that at home. Yeah? Right? And then the patterns. Like, I reached out to my mom recently and said, do you have any patterns for sweaters? Because I want to make a sweater, but I don't know where to start. And she's like, yeah, I got 50,000 of them. I'm going to send some to you. And I'm like, and then I just went through those pamphlets and those leaflets and those books, and more than likely I've got a sweater pattern in there that can maybe help me learn a thing or two about making sweaters, you know? So it's a good idea to take stock and inventory of everything you own, and I mean everything from the yarn that is in full skeins to the yarn that is left over to all your hooks and your tools, past projects that aren't done, current projects that you're currently working on, and every pattern and book and magazine you can find. Try to get it all together and try to inventory it and figure out if you've got too much. Figure out if you don't have enough. Figure out if there's some things that you can let go of. Maybe you can donate them. Maybe you can sell them and make a little bit of money off of them if you got some vintage stuff like I do. Maybe. Just do anything you can just to make your life a little less chaotic and a little less stressful. Because crocheting is supposed to bring us joy and help us relax. But sometimes, I don't know about you guys, but I cannot create in the mess that I have. So I want to be able to create more. I love coming up with patterns on my own. I love doing things a little bit differently than everybody else does. So that's what kind of journey I'm on. All right. So whether this is day 10 or 12 or 25, I don't know where I'm at in the schedule on this, but I will see you in the next one when I am getting the patterns off my floor and working on my computer desk. I might show you guys some of the working on the computer desk too, because I do a lot of my crocheting at my desk with YouTube playing in the background, which is actually down there playing music videos. Hopefully the camera can't hear that. We don't get a copyright strike. All right, I love you guys, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.